Rory McIlroy will be absent from this weekend's Open Championship at St Andrews. The chance of seeing him at the historic course can be realized in Rory McIlroy PGA Tour, but EA Sports' first foray into next-gen golf does little else. Whether developer EA Tiberian struggled technically to bring the franchise to the shiny new consoles, or if they are simply exploiting their PGA license, there is no excuse for the sheer lack of content. The game boasts only 8 real courses. Recent US Open course Chambers Bay joins other memorable courses such as Royal Troon and the aforementioned St Andrews. Sorry fans, no Augusta. The 4 fantasy courses do little to contribute to the variety. Likewise, the 12 included golfers is laughable, especially when they do not include greats like Phil Mickelson, Bubba Watson, Dustin Johnson, or for obvious reasons, Tiger Woods. What makes the lack of fan service so upsetting is that fundamentally, PGA Tour is a very fun game. The course swing mechanics are solid and are bolstered by an incredible physics engine. The game also does a fantastic job introducing the various techniques, and does so after easing you into your preferred control layout. PGA Tour has 3 control styles. Arcade uses the more contemporary left analog to swing, while maintaining some of the less simmy skills such as in-air spin and zooming. Classic uses the traditional 3-button swing where the player presses a button at the height of the swing and then at the point of contact. And lastly, there is Tour, which is an unforgiving, hardcore mode that true golf fanatics will appreciate. Best of all, the player can edit the minutiae of each style. Want classic swing but still be able to generate spin while in flight? No problem. PGA Tour lets you tailor the difficulty to the sweet spot where birdies feel earned, and sometimes saving a bogey is just as rewarding. Likewise, local multiplayer is equally customizable, and single controller 4-person stroke play is a blast. The presentation is a mixed bag. EA boasted that the game would move seamlessly between holes with no loading. Though the game fulfills the promise, it is not without sacrifice. The loading that takes place prior to jumping into a round is noticeable, and the lagging menus do not hide it. When you do finally jump into a round, the NBC presentation begins, but it is common to see pop-up texture well into the minute-long preamble. This scenic look at the courses could have been one of the bright spots of the game, because when everything comes together, the courses are truly beautiful. Unfortunately, the pop-in is frequent and jarring enough to spoil the moment. The character models are accurate enough, and the animations are lifelike. The strong commentating of Frank Nobla and Rich Lerner bring the package together, especially when they are making insights on the individual holes themselves. Live-action cutscenes that litter the prologue in the tour mode are also a nice treat. Sports simulation junkies know that the most essential single-player mode is the career. PGA Tour's equivalent does a poor job of disguising the lack of content. The customization of your character's features is disappointing. Out of the meager 18 face options, 6 of them look simply disfigured, while another 6 were indistinguishable from each other. You have the option to choose an origin of Prodigy, College, or Local Pro, but none of the options have a real impact on the character aside from a few lines of commentary. Surprisingly, there were plenty of club and attire customization options. The ability to create an outfit for each day of the tournament was a nice touch. It was hard not to throw a red shirt on my character for Sundays. The tour consists of one tournament after another as you accumulate points for the FedEx Cup standings. You can also switch between full 18 holes and playing an abbreviated round of roughly 6 holes. The default is oddly set to the quick game, but even after turning it off, I found myself taking advantage if I ever accumulated a 5 or 6 shot lead. Your golfer improves after each shot with a small tally of XP gained and what it was that you were rewarded for. If I hit a well enough shot, I could gamble by not using in-air spin to rack up a natural spin bonus. Though the leveling experience was fun, the payoff was lackluster with the primary objective of earning attribute points that you could swap in and out. It felt unrealistic to be a power golfer for the long courses, only to become a precision golfer if a tricky putting course was next. With the limited number of courses, the replay value of the mode suffers. In Nightclub Challenge, you tackle a series of challenges in an attempt to get 3 stars. As you progress through the over 60 stages on 3 separate courses, you acquire various power-ups that give you the physics-defying boost you need to achieve your point totals. Once you acquire more than 3, you have to choose which to bring into the challenge, while taking into consideration of the energy cost of each as you use them. If it sounds ridiculous, it's because it is. The challenges either give you a number of shots or a time limit to achieve the set goal, but often it's the same shot that will get you maximum points. For example, if the goal is to hit a target on the green, the target will not change once you hit it. The tedium sets in when you are just landing on the same shot that you already just made. This mode amounts to little more than a gimmicky distraction. The online modes attempt to give depth to the shallow content, but the execution leaves much to be desired. The head-to-head mode pits you and up to 3 golfers in simultaneous stroke play. The round runs efficiently, but the game's attempt to track the other golfers while you play a hole is anything but seamless. Players just appear and disappear sporadically, and the curious lack of commentating does nothing to break the awkwardness. Once again, the gameplay options are the star, as the unranked head-to-head mode allows the host to tweak the details of the course and control in fine detail. There's merit in shooting a quick round with some buddies, but it is not the highly competitive package as advertised. Online tournaments are maybe the only saving grace for PGA Tour's longevity. The inclusion of the daily and weekly events encourages the player to log on daily, gunning for a top score in each of the new leaderboards. Different control styles each have their own set of tournaments, as custom preferences are disabled. This clever approach makes tournaments the go-to place to scratch a competitive itch, as good scores feel earned against other players who play your same style. Golf enthusiasts looking for a fix on a rainy day should definitely consider picking up Rory McIlroy PGA Tour, especially if you have some buddies to shoot around with, either online or on the couch. But if you're looking for a deep simulation that respects its fan base, then maybe wait until next year when EA puts back in all the features and content they took out from last iteration. Hopefully, EA can save par by releasing the free DLC courses they hinted at in the coming months. Covering the Spread gives Rory McIlroy's PGA Tour 15 a 6.5 out of 10.